Okay, so now that we've cut our fish into 4 equal-sized fillets, what we're going to do is put it on the cutting board, skin side up, and cut some gashes with a very sharp knife, not cutting into the flesh, but just into the skin as far as the fat between the skin and the flesh is. And what that will do is when we start the fish off at a very high temperature in the oven, it'll allow some of the fat to release and render off. And then it'll finish cooking, oven roasting at a lower temperature. Now that that is done, it's the last step of the process before we get our fish in the oven, and that is to put some olive oil on both sides of each fillet to help keep it moist. Using a pastry brush is a great way to do that because it allows you to get into all sorts of little crevices and parts of the fish easily. Remember to do it on both sides, but before that I'm going to salt this side. And then turn it over. And oil the other side as well. And I realize there's one very important element that I think my daughter was using. So I'll go get that from the kitchen. Ah, it's right here. Okay, perfect. That is pepper. She likes pepper on everything. So I'm going to add some pepper as well. And I will quickly add that to this side too. We still need to add some salt to the skin side, so I'll go ahead and do that. And that's really all you have to do in terms of flavoring this fish, because we're going to make an accompaniment that has a lot of flavor and that balances out the richness of the fish very well. There we go. So we've got salt, pepper, and some olive oil to keep it moist. And I'm just going to wash my hands and be right back. So now it's time to get our fish in the oven. I have here an iron, a metal rack, and what I've done is to put the heat down to about 275, but I started the fish off at 500, so you're going to hear a beautiful sizzle when I put it skin side down onto this very hot baking tray. Make sure you use a rimmed baking tray so the juices have somewhere to go. And once we get that sear on it, we're going to put it in the oven, and as the oven temperature slowly cools, we're going to cook the fish.